Hi guys, and welcome back to Farming Simulator. It's episode 35. We're here on Colorado Farm. It's the road to 100 million, and we're going to start off by selling 7,207 eggs precisely, which apparently is 80% of this trailer's capacity, which I don't really understand. But we are in November, and we're going to try and make some money. Look at that, brilliant, beautiful morning sunshine behind us here in this European map, and it's time to sell our eggs. Now, we did this a couple of times in June, and I think again in April, so this is obviously the third selling for the year, but hopefully it's going to be the best because 1,000 eggs are worth, I think it's 2,600. The best price is at the supermarket, which is why I've got it tagged. So we're going to head on over there, and we are going to get these all sold up. I do also have a pallet of, what are these, long planks? Yeah, they're planks, not beams. So I've got a pallet of long planks to sell as well. I'm not sure if the supermarket accepts them, but if not, we'll get them sold because it's time to make money. We've been waiting all year for November to come around for the best price for stuff, and straight after this, we're going to head over to our greenhouses. Notice I called them the right thing for the first time. We're going to load up all of the produce that we've got over there. So we've got lettuce, we've got strawberries, and what's the other one? Tomatoes, lettuce, strawberries, and tomatoes. We're going to load them all up, and we're going to sell them as well. And it should be a very, very profitable month. We've got $43,000 in the bank to start off with. I've been doing a bunch of contracts. There was also a few more I could have done. If I wanted to stretch it out, I probably could have. We've got a loan of $55K that I needed to repay. I probably could have done that with just contracts alone, but I just didn't want to. Because we can do this. We can sell $18,750 worth of products, which is just amazing. And we're going to start making our money back very nicely. Now, where are the planks? Long planks. It's the worst month for them, but whatever. Carpentry, we can sell them at the carpentry or at the farmer's market. We'll just keep them on board because we're going to be selling all of our produce at the farmer's market. So there's no need to get anything changed over. Let's head over to our greenhouses and get all of our produce loaded up. Now, as we drive over, let's see if we can check the menus. We have got 10,000 pallets of lettuce, plus all the ones sitting at the front, and nearly 12,000 litres of strawberries and tomatoes, plus all the ones sitting at the front. So it's going to be a full trailer, and I'm looking forward to seeing just how much money we get from this. Hopefully it's a lot, and we can then repay our loan and look forward to the end of this year. And we'll do a little recap, as we always do. We'll do a little recap, how much we've made, how much we expect to make in the next year, set ourselves some challenges, that sort of thing. But for now, let's load these up. Now, I'm not going to bore you guys. Anyone who doesn't know, I am absolutely terrible at using this pallet fork thing with this tractor. I don't know what it is, because when I do it with a forklift on one of my other saves, it's fine. It's really fine. I can't do it right now. So I'm going to skip this, and I'll come back with this thing absolutely loaded up, and we'll go from there. All right? Okay, it has taken me long enough, but I'm ready to go. We have got 7,000 strawberries, 8,000 tomatoes, 14,000 lettuce. That is a lot of money coming our way. Hopefully it could be 100 grand. I don't really know what to expect. I can't remember how much each one's worth, and I kind of don't want to calculate either. Like, I just want to be surprised. 2,000. Yeah, they're worth 2,000. That's not so bad. Also, January is the month for selling them, but we're just going to sell them now. They're pretty... actually saying that, maybe we just wait a little bit. But we'll just sell them now. I may as well get it all out of the way with. Why wait till January? This thing's already full. We can just carry on selling the ones that we need in January as well. But or would it be wiser to wait? It could be wiser to wait, you know. It could be wiser to wait. Let's leave it for now. What I might do is I might just leave it at the shop, or rather like the selling point, the farm shop. And what we could do is just skip forward to January. I don't do a lot during the winter anyway. There is one thing I do want to check though, and that is the price of canola oil, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, November and December, now's the time to sell the canola oil, or let's not get caught up on the bridge. So maybe we do that instead. So we could sell that at the farmer's market as well. I could go and get the truck and load it up with all of the rest of the products from the mill as well. And then we can just skip through to January. So yes, it might seem weird that I've packed these in November and we're going to sell them in January, but it's a couple of months that I would otherwise be filling with absolutely nothing. There's not very many contracts for us to do. That's a cow. There's probably a couple of cultivating ones that I can get going in the background, but... Oh no! Oh no! Alright, I have filled myself up with canola oil, and we're about to go and sell this. I have no idea what this is worth. $13,500. That's not bad. That's not bad. If only we could get this production to go a bit quicker, because it's just a bit slow. But, yeah, I mean, that's alright. It's just a small one. We can always just buy a bigger one. Maybe we upgrade to a bigger one next year. Maybe we just use the small one for now, until we have enough money to afford the bigger one. Speaking of money, it's time to get rid of all this. Let's repay this loan. All $55,000 we're left with just under $30,000 in the bank, which is pretty good. It's pretty good because going into the next year, for the first time, we have these 19 limousines who are all on the way to getting nice and fat and healthy. We've got the goats and the sheep, which is pretty good. I just filled their water up, so they're a little bit slow. And we've got the chickens making us eggs. So we've got a lot of money sitting and waiting to get got, basically. We've got the wheat that feeds the chickens, and we've got this canola oil. So it's time to figure out, obviously we've got the grass too, it's time to figure out what to do with the rest of the with the fields. I think we can probably invest in maybe a couple of springtime spring crops. So anything that we can harvest in March, which doesn't seem like to be a lot of. Poplar, but we don't have any poplar. April, likewise, nothing there. So harvest season is just about gone. So I don't know if it's worth doing any of this. We could buy a field now that's got parsnips on it, or soybeans, or something like that. But there just doesn't seem to be a lot of profitable stuff. All the fields that we've got available. This one's soybeans for 27. We actually have everything we need, don't we? Can we do soybeans in our harvester? In the header that we have, are we able to do soybeans? We are. We are able to do soybeans. So we can actually do this contract. Like, we can just straight up do this contract, which I probably will do off camera. So, yeah, it's time to get some more land. We need some more land. We need to decide what to do with that land. Now, we could very easily expand into the sunflowers and the corn. So if we go down to the harvesters, the combine harvesters, which I think I scrolled past, yep. I can just get a corn header. Now the corn header will fit with every harvester that we have, so it's 53,000. We'll then be able to do corn and sunflowers. The problem is we can't afford that and the land, and we need to decide, is it worth doing all that? Especially because we can't actually do any of the corn or the sunflowers because we need a planter to do that, I'm pretty sure. So this is another thing I've been considering, is maybe we just move to vegetables. We could do some vegetables. We could plant them in the new year. Here it is. We can plant them during planting season, and then we can harvest them towards the later part of the year. So maybe we try and get as much money as possible between now and March and April, because we could do parsnips, we could do carrots. Where are they? Where's the carrots? Carrots are also April, so maybe that's the way to go too. And we can just, start getting them ready to go and just utilizing more of our land. Now, how do we get corn? How do we get corn, and how do we get sunflowers? It's not seeders, is it? It's up here somewhere. It's planters. Is it called a planter? Yeah, that's the one. So we would need this anyway. That would let us do soybeans. That would let us do, is that a parsnip? I think that's a parsnip. Green beans as well, cotton, sunflower, sorghum, and corn. So we could get one of them. Additionally, the seed offers the possibility to seed directly. That's fine. We don't need that. Now we could probably get one of these smaller ones. So, although I say smaller ones, this is huge. But I think that's the way to go. We just need to buy some land. We need to get enough money to get the land. Hopefully we can buy 3 or 4 fields, and then we can plant a bunch of stuff as well, because we already have everything we need to be able to use all of these, especially if we just get the header for the other two. So that should be pretty good. But we're going to skip forwards. I'm going to do a bunch of contracts between now and January. All that stuff is just going to wait there to be sold, because there's nothing else to be done. I may as well have just loaded it up. Yes, I did make a mistake. I thought that the best price was in November. It's not. It's in January. So we'll just have to wait and see how we go. But yeah, it's still going to be a profitable winter, and I want to do as many contracts as possible to get us enough money to afford everything. Here's the tractor. So I will be back midway through January, or January morning, and we will be selling all that produce there. So I'll see you guys in a moment. Guys, it's the end of November. I've done a bunch of contracts. We've got 48,000 in the bank. And again, we've paid off our loan, so that is pure money for us. And I've had a thought, and maybe this is a stupid thought, but this is the kind of thinking that I do. This contract for corn at the grain mill is for $18,000, basically. 18K. Now, I don't have the required corn header, but I could get one. I could very easily get one. Now, I don't see the difference between any of these, other than why would I pay the 10,000 more for this one when it's the exact same working width and the exact same parameters? I don't really know. So, obviously, this one is a bigger working width. I understand the difference. That's fine. And I understand those ones too, but I almost have 53K. I could borrow $5,000 to buy 53K. And then, how could I make that money back? Well, we would get 18K from this, and then I just had a quick look. That basically brings it to 20 because of those sunflowers. There's another one down here. That's 26K. That's 29K. So if I do all of these contracts, that's 30K. I get this corn header for a very reduced price. Now let me just check in here to see. Oh, I thought this was a corn header. I thought that would have been absolutely crazy, but it's not. So yeah, I think I'm going to do this. We need a corn header anyway. It makes financial sense to get this now, and if I do all these contracts, then I basically get it for 30K instead of 53K. So I know that's not quite how it works, but it just makes sense to get it now, and it's something that I want to get anyway. And then we can use the rest of our loan and stuff to get the rest of them in the future, because I do want to plant some corn and I do want to plant some sunflowers, and the months for that are sunflowers are in March, brilliant. Soybeans also in March, and they are the same tool. Corn's also in April as well, so we're not too far away from getting all that, so I may as well get the things that we need to harvest it before I get the things that we need to buy it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's get this. Now, is there a contract I can accept? No, I just did them all. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to loan... let me loan 15K. I obviously only need 5, but let me just have 10 there in the background in case we need it. And we'll purchase this corn header now. Now, this should go onto our combine, even though it's a different brand, so that should be fine. Purchase, yes, and then I'll head on over. And again, I'm not going to show you guys a time lapse or anything because it will take so long, and I'm not I'm not patient enough to do it. As you guys can see in the top right, I've put the time down to 0.5 because I think this will take me a little bit of time, and I don't want to run out. All the contracts finish at midnight in November before we go into December. Oops, let me get this aligned. But yeah, we have ourselves a brand new corn header, so I just wanted to have that on camera for you guys before we go and use it. I'll catch you guys in January shortly. Hi guys, alright, it is finally January. It's time to sell this absolute cohort of things that we've got assembled. So hopefully this first one sells. I think I have to put it on the ground, right? I'm not really sure how this works. I know it's upside down. There you go. That was 1,000. Cool. And now, time for all of these. Let's sell them all. 52,000. That's crazy. That is so much cash. We've got $90,000. That is awesome. That's such a good feeling to know that we've waited all year to sell this, and well, we sold it now at probably the best time. I actually think the price, I was looking at this before, the price says it's best in February, but it's obviously 2,000 is higher than whatever that is, 1,996, so it's pretty much the best price now. So it was time to sell. So we've now got $90,000 ready to kick off the next year. And I'm going to run this over to our warehouse, to our farmyard, and we're going to leave it there. Let's just check if there's any contracts. There's a couple. There's a cultivating contract and a plowing contract, so I'll get those up and running. I do need to service our tractors as well, so I'll make sure that they are all serviced and taken care of for the start of the new year. And we'll do the most important thing, which is, of course, change our appearance. And then we'll decide what we're going to do this year. How are we going to invest our funds back into the farm? What projects we want to undertake, how we're going to make more money in the quickest ways. So yeah, I've got a few ideas on the go. I do want to get the dairy cows started. I also feel like we probably should get more arable farmland before we keep progressing, because we're going to need it. Let's be real, we're going to need it. So yeah, why not do that as well? I just realised we've got one more pallet of wooden beams there, which is probably good to sell. So let me deposit this. Oh, gee. There you go. That's it. Let me deposit the back one. We'll take that with us. And what was it? It was a cultivating and a ploughing contract. Now, I think my tractor with the plough should be around here somewhere. It's over there. There you go. So the plough is ready to go. I'll send that worker over. And I'll go and get this tractor serviced without bringing the weeder with me. I can stay there. So let's go do that, and I'll meet you guys at the field. Alright, let's get these 2 pallets of beams sold. I decided not to use the trailer. We could just drag them over here like this and put them on the floor, and hopefully they sell. There's the first one. That was another 5k, and there's another 5k. We've got over $100,000, and I've barely done any contracts to earn any of that cash. That is all from basically selling stuff. We sold a bunch of wood, we sold a bunch of eggs, we sold a bunch of, obviously as you guys just saw, the produce and all that sort of stuff. So we are in a good position. Sorry for hitting escape there. We're in a good position heading into this next year. So as I go and service this tractor, and I'm just going to go start our worker off on the other field. Yep, cool. This guy's in a bit of a pickle. Let me get him over to us. This guy needs a service too, so actually let me AI worker him. This set destination thing seems to be the best way to get these guys to actually come across to us, so I will take it. And yeah, we'll go get these guys serviced and ready to go for the new year. But yeah, time to decide what to do. Now, I really do think that the money that we're going to make, the quickest way to get cash is going to be by doing the dairy, cows, and then the water buffaloes. Like, for sure, that seems to be the most profitable way to get stuff done. I'm just going to go ahead and repair all of this for apparently $0 because it doesn't cost us anything, which is just crazy. So once I've done all of that, I think it is, time to decide, do I start saving up? Now, the problem with that sort of stuff is the barn and the cows and basically maintaining the cows is going to be very, very expensive. The dairy production alone is like $300,000, let alone then investing in, that's just the cow building, like just the cow barn, let alone then actually buying the cows, investing in their health, and then having the dairy to produce the food as well. So I think at this stage we're not quite there yet. I just need to work on buying more land, basically, because without the land we can't really progress any further. So I'll set the worker to get onto this. Meanwhile, I'll jump over to the other tractor and I'll watch him drive over to the garage. So if we go to, oops, I clicked the wrong button, excuse me. If I go Control P, Shift P, what's the construction menu? Oh, there's a little pause. Yeah, so if we go over to here, the cow barn that we need, like this one, is $722,000. It's just too much. But we wouldn't get that one. We could get a smaller one, but that's a breeding barn, so milk production is not possible. So 250k. We need 250k to get this cow barn, and that allows us to start producing milk. Let alone then getting the factory for the dairy, which is going to be another 210k. So we need £500,000 to get that done. $500,000 to get that done. This is going to be an accident. Yep. Cool. Okay. Definitely terrible driving. But yeah, we need $500,000 to get that all ready and up to speed. So I just don't think we have the capacity to afford that right now. I'm more inclined to try and buy some more land and basically complete the land that we own. Again, I don't know how I'm getting this for free, but I am. I love it. I'm getting it for free, so I'm not going to complain. But yeah, I'll show you guys the fields that I'm thinking that we buy. Also, did I just start my... No, that's definitely cultivating field 36. Yep, and ploughing field 31 is over here somewhere. Let me just cut across the fields. I'm sure the farmers won't mind. Field 31, yeah, we're pointing straight at it. So, we could buy these two fields. So this is 70,000, 58,000. Actually, let's make it a trifecta. We could spend 200k basically on getting those three fields. And I think we could look at possibly getting some vegetable planters and getting some vegetables done. We talked about it last time. I did buy the corn and the sunflower header as well. So if we get some planters, we'll be able to produce sorghum, produce corn, and produce sunflowers. We can put them in the ground, and then we obviously already have the resources to be able to harvest them when the time comes. So that's probably the cleanest way to go. And if I just look at the planters, so we go down here, we go to planters. This one is probably the one we'll go for. They're used for crops. That's fine. and we could get soybeans as well. So this allows us to do all of these because we have the header to be able to do corn, sorghum, and sunflowers. We already have the harvester to do soybeans and green beans, and we could do some vegetable ones in there too. Now, that's one of the things I'm thinking. What's that? Cotton and green beans? I don't know how we harvest green beans. Let's have a look in here. If we go to, no, that's a grain header. So we've got the corn header. No. So how do we harvest green beans? Anyone know? Forage harvesting? No, that's not it. Root crops, vegetable planters. So that does carrots, parsnips, beetroot, and spinach. What's that? Spinach? Yeah, spinach. Cool. That's the tool that we need to make it work to create ridges into which you plant your vegetables. So we would need a combination of them, but that's not that expensive, to be honest. This special planter is used to plant vegetables. Cool. We could combine these ones that has a working width of 6 meters and 6 meters. These two are both 3 meters. We'd probably get the 3 meter one, let's be honest. Vegetable harvester. This one could harvest the parsnips and all of that. I don't think we have enough to be able to do a cotton harvester, do we? No, way too expensive. So yeah, we're probably looking at, if I go back up here, probably looking at expanding to get a planter. So we could do this one, and then we basically could go hell for leather on just getting as many fields as possible throughout the year and getting some of these sorted. What is that? Is that a vegetable? I don't know what the icon is there. And if I go down, it's definitely a vegetable of some sort because, is it beet? Yeah, it's beet. It must be sugar beet and beetroot, I guess. And we need a special type of harvester for that. Yeah, we do. Alright, well, I'm not interested in getting those. But we could definitely do these. So, hopefully you guys have been bearing with me as I just get this all sorted. Spinach, we can harvest with the current thing that we have. No, green beans. That's not green beans, it's soybeans. But yes, lots to ponder, lots to think about, but we will finish this episode by heading over to the farmhouse, and we will change our appearance for the year. So we've had the year as a Voucher fanboy. I think it's time to change. I'm not changing my character. I didn't mean to do that. I'm just changing my outfit. We could go full branded. I don't know. We could get a class. See that one, the Strauss one looks quite cool. I do like the. I could go full John Deere, but we've already done John Deere. So I don't know. Well, we could just get our own. That one looks quite cool. The jacket too. We've done that one before. I don't know. No, we're not doing that. Let's go. Not the motorcycle helmet. Yeah, sure. Let's go this one. Let's go this one for this year. Select color. We can go dark. Maybe something brighter. Nah, we'll go dark. Something darker. Cool. This is going to be our new outfit for the year ahead. So, yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I know it's been a weird short episode, but we were just getting through winter. We're going to head through now to spring. So if I bring up the crop calendar to finish off, I want to be able to start putting some of these in the ground. So we'll skip forward. There's nothing in February to do, so I'll just do a couple of contracts probably. And we'll head over to March and April, where we will be buying fields and deciding what to do for the year. Definitely we need more fields for soybeans and sorghum, and then we'll see how we go with all the rest. Alright, sugar beet, that's what it was. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Leave a like, subscribe for more, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.